Characters have a compelling backstory. But for superheroes, some origins are so out there, it's hard to take them seriously. But hey, that's part of the fun. I'm Sasha Wood, and these are the top 10 craziest superhero origin stories. Number 10. PUREHEART the Powerful. This is the superhero alter ego of Archie Andrews, accessed by him tapping into his pH factor, which can only be accessed by the pure of heart. However, if his heart ceases to be pure at any time during a mission, he will lose his powers. This includes things like accepting kisses or rewards from grateful survivors. This one is a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's very Care Bears to think just by accessing our purity of heart, we can all be superheroes. But only if we keep pure. Let's move to a pure superhero at number 9. Animal Man. Animal Man is exposed to radiation from an exploding crashed alien vessel, and we know what that means: superpowers. He first appears in Strange Adventures number 180 in 1965, and officially becomes Animal Man in issue 190. He was a movie stuntman, and the title of his comic reads, "I was the man with animal powers." He used these to fight crime and stop potential alien attacks. Animal Man didn't really achieve mainstream popularity until the Grant Morrison run in the 1980s. Keeping with the animal theme at number 8, Dr. Jonathan Chase, MANIMAL. So this was a television show that only lasted 8 episodes, which while understandable is also very saddening. It centers around the titular doctor who uses his shape-shifting ability to fight crime. His intro goes as follows: Dr. Jonathan Chase, wealthy, young, handsome, a man with the brightest of futures, a man with the darkest of pasts. From Africa's deepest recesses to the rarefied peaks of Tibet, heir to his father's legacy and the world's darkest mysteries. Jonathan Chase, master of the secrets that divide man from animal, animal from man, Manimal. So basically, yeah, he just went and learned it. It's an amazing secret being kept from all of us. You can just go and learn. I guess you could just go to the East to learn anything. You'll come back as Batman, Doctor Strange, Iron Fist, and now Manimal.
Manimal.
Someone who invented his powers, well, sort of, in at number 7. The Elongated Man, who gained the power to be super elastic after using chemicals to refine a popular soda, called Gin Gold, by further distilling the rare Jingo fruit, which made him super elastic. He first appeared in The Flash Volume 1 in number 112 in 1960. So what prompted him to use his chemistry skills to pull the elastic out of fruit? Well, it was because he was obsessed with contortionists. As for the editorial reason, well, the staff wanted a new supporting character for the Flash. They also didn't realize they owned the rights to the name Plastic Man. But that's fine, because when I think plastic, I don't think stretchy and moldable. Quite the opposite, actually. Number 6. FREAKAZOID, from the show FREAKAZOID, who gains his abilities after his cat walks all over the keyboard of his computer, entering a secret key sequence that activates a latent bug in the computer chip, which is then activated when the user hits delete. Once Dexter Douglas hits delete, he is absorbed into the computer and absorbs all of the information the 90s internet has to offer. This somehow grants him enhanced strength, endurance, speed and agility, and the ability to transform into his wisecracking, not overly sane alter ego, Freakazoid. Because of course it does. Clearly a bit of a parody origin, but now it's so very much of its time that it's really endearing. Also, they sing about it in his intro, which is great. Something somehow sillier at number 5. Red Hood, aka Jason Todd. So most everyone knows the story of how the second Robin died. Beaten with a crowbar and then blown up by the Joker. But few know how he came back to life on his quest to become the anti-hero, the Red Hood. Pre-New 52, Jason was brought back to life by Superboy Prime punching a wall while trapped outside of continuity in a separate dimension. A punch so powerful, it altered the continuity of many Earths, and one such change was bringing Jason Todd back to life. Basically, the writers wanted to bring Jason back in order to explore a new narrative angle with Batman, but because of how definitively he was dead, it proved to be a bit of an obstacle. His New 52 origin involves him being resurrected via the Lazarus Pit, which is significantly less silly. Well, that's cool and all, but does Jason Todd have a saxophone, like our number 4, Nightman? So for those of you who have never heard of Nightman, you need to fix that. And no, it's not because it's good. Nightman was a TV series that ran from 1997 to 1999 and featured Johnny Domino as Nightman, who was a jazz musician who gained his powers after he was struck by lightning during a cable car accident. This somehow enabled him to telepathically sense evil, which they describe as him being tuned into the frequency of evil. But it took away his ability to sleep. Hence, after getting a bodysuit that greatly enhances his physical abilities and allows him to fly, he became the titular Nightman. I just like saying Nightman. He's a jazz musician by day, and well, Nightman by Night. He has a hologram of himself playing the saxophone, by the way. So yes, Nightman. Gone, but not forgotten. At least not by me. Number 3. Captain Marvel, aka SHAZAM. He gained his powers after he followed a stranger into the subway. Captain Marvel first appeared in Wiz Comics number 2, where his origin was detailed as a paperboy who is approached by a mysterious stranger who has him follow him onto the subway, where he proceeds onto an empty train car and meets the wizard SHAZAM, who grants him great power to battle the 7 deadly enemies of man. Maybe back in 1940 no one thought this was odd, but nowadays the whole go off with a stranger and you may get magical powers would never fly. It would have to be retconned to him following the stranger or something, but parents would be up in arms if a comic just showed a 10-year-old follow a trench-coated stranger into the subway. Cause yes, he's wearing a trench coat. Captain Marvel / SHAZAM would run into many problems such as lawsuits for being too similar to Superman and lawsuits over his name, which he lost. Few things with him would remain as innocent as his origin. Follow me indeed. Number 2. Superboy, specifically Connor Kent, KON-EL. He is a clone created by Cadmus as an attempt to control Kryptonian DNA. Their goal was to create a controllable Kryptonian clone. As his origin evolved, so did the process used to create him. His most well-known iteration sees him as a clone with half Kryptonian, half human DNA. And who was the human donor? Why, Lex Luthor, of course. This is hilarious, especially if you're a Kleck shipper, and even funnier when he's hanging out with Clark and Clark shows him the meteor crash site that has the words CK plus LL. Yes, it's clearly supposed to stand for Lana Lang, but with Superman you need to be more specific. Pretty much everybody in his life has a name that starts with LL. Yes, this is supposed to be a deep character struggle, good versus evil on a genetic level, when it was really popular that genetics controlled such things. But it also puts Clark and Lex into this position of being co-parents and arch nemesis. So good. I was so sad when they retconned this. And at number 1, it's Spider-Woman, aka Jessica Drew. Her origin is interesting for 2 reasons. 1, the very first origin showed her as a spider who had evolved into a human, which was quickly retconned as it was deemed too implausible for 1970s readers. So instead, it was quickly retconned to her having the memories of a spider implanted within her by Hydra. However, no one really ever seemed sure what to do with her, as she had originally been created so Marvel could hold on to the rights to the character name. Stan Lee is quoted as saying, "I suddenly realized that some other company may quickly put out a book like that and claim they had the right to use the name. And I thought we'd better do it real fast to copyright the name. So we just batted one quickly, and that's exactly what happened. I wanted to protect the name because it's the type of thing where someone else might say, hey, why don't we put out a Spider-Woman? They can't stop us. You know, years ago we brought out Wonder Man, and DC Comics sued us because they had Wonder Woman, and I said, okay, I'll discontinue Wonder Man, and all of a sudden they've got Power Girl after Marvel introduced Power Man. Oh boy, how unfair. Spider-Woman has since grown into a fleshed out character, but yeesh, what a way to start. So those were some crazy superhero origins, and it was a lot of fun. Let us know what other lists you'd like to see down in the comments below. I'm Sasha Wood, this has been Top 10 Nerd. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and turn on that bell notification so you never miss another nerdy list.